And welcome back to the Lawless Brothers Radio podcast. I'm your host, Casey.
And I'm your other host, Ryan.
And welcome back. This is episode 7, a.k.a. where podcasts go to die. So we've made it. This will be our last. I'm just kidding.
The last lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7. A little late for an April Fool's joke, if you will. But no, we are here to stay. And I'm super excited about this one, man.
Easter Sunday.
Got
to chill today with, hang out a little bit, watch some wrestling.
Yeah, WrestleMania Sunday as well for any wrestling fans out there. It's an absolute banger. Just got finished. John Cena just became 17-time world champion. Pretty wild stuff, to be honest with you. So, definitely was excited about that.
Very exciting.
But, and, Ryan is not a wrestling fan, and he said that he was entertained. And for me, I'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's going home and watching Raw after Mania tomorrow, but I'll take entertainment.
We're not going to watch the reruns or anything, but, it was cool. What is it? World Wrestling Entertainment?
Yeah.
See? Entertainment. There it is.
There it is. Yeah, man.
That was cool, man. We still trying to work through these minor technical difficulties. I think we got a good idea for like the storage and such, which is like kind of the reason why the like clips and things have not been coming out. But it's I think we got a good little flow that's about to start moving.
100%. We had some technological concerns, but I believe that we have avoided any more crisis. Yeah, so we didn't go anywhere. We didn't die. We're here.
Learning, though.
Learning. And, taking every step that we can. I think I might have said a little confidently a couple episodes ago that, it's just getting better every single week, which I do agree.
Right,
still, it is.
right.
And I would say from a confidence standpoint, talking to the camera, talking into a microphone, but, we definitely had a couple of technical things that we needed to we just needed to tweak on our end, and I think that we've found the remedy.
I think so. I think it'd be good. I think these next couple of weeks will be a lot more content will be pushed out.
Absolutely.
And that's really the main thing. So that's we kind of the idea for this episode here. We're thinking about talking about how video games have been a big part of both of our lives.
Yeah.
And they've really shaped our lives as a whole, even as very, 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 very young kids.
Dude, 100%. I mean, it definitely changed the course of the way that our lives would literally eventually go. We were talking about this before we were recording, but you want to talk about someone who actually played video games to its literal highest degree.
Right.
And you did that for multiple years on end. I saw this quick TikTok. It was it was something about if you have a friend group, if you could get benched. I don't know if you saw that, but it was pretty funny. But one of the comments said, all we know is unranked friend groups just imply that there are ranked friend groups.
Facts.
So for you to play Call of Duty at the highest of heights, and we're gonna kind of get into the nitty gritty of the beginnings here, but it's pretty amazing how much they've actually impacted who we are, our friends,
man.
Who we've gone on vacation with,
at their
who
weddings.
we've gone to weddings, flying out to meet them, partying with them. It's crazy to think that it all started with a controller and an internet connection.
Oh yeah, man. It's been a lot of fun, dude. I think we live in one of the most interesting times in human history. The 100%. Amount of technological advances that these devices can do,
dude,
and how it connects us all. I think from a very young age, man. One of the greatest things our dad did for us was introducing PlayStation 1. The first console, we weren't really Nintendo kids. A lot of people have that whole Game Boy, Nintendo 64 arc.
Definitely, I think the 64 and the PS1 released very close to each other.
Okay.
So we were very close, but our dad, the one great thing he really did for us was
put a controller in my hand at 4 years old
and said, "Let it ride." You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were playing Spyro the Dragon,
Crash Bandicoot.
You were telling a story a little earlier about how we transitioned into the Xbox world.
Oh, well, yeah, and that all started because, I'm the youngest, so, I'm the runt of the litter. I got to fight for my spot, and my sister and I were playing Spyro. I deemed that she had been playing too long, so it must be my turn.
It's on the PlayStation 2 too.
This is, yeah. So we're past the generation. She deemed that she had actually not played long enough, We had a quick tug of the controller. Back in the day, controllers were wired to the... there might have been a wireless, maybe if you were that bougie in 2005.
Hey, I use a wire controller now.
Dude, well, 100%, but I'm just mean there might have been the wireless technology back then, if maybe. But
Bluetooth wasn't around yet.
Not yet. And then our sister and I fucking ripped the console out of the entertainment center.
Crash, boom.
Completely crashed, boom, pieces everywhere, which then led our mom doing actually like the most like it sounds hyperbole.
Yeah.
But like one of the most historic moments in our life when she, instead of getting us another PlayStation 2, opted for the original Xbox. And with the original Xbox came the first game that probably you and I can remember playing, but definitely you having more vivid memories, and that being
Halo Combat Evolved, dude. Halo was the first-person shooter I played, dude. Playing the campaign of Halo, like that first one, like dropping into the world. It looks like you're in Yosemite, dude.
Yeah.
You're like you're looking around. The great music. Halo had great music, great orchestral music.
And I feel like as the games went on, the music just got fucking like Halo 2 with the electric guitar thing. Oh, dude, I've worked out to that. You know what I mean? That's on my gym playlist.
Cool.
Like, dude, it's
That's
fucking
cool,
badass.
But dude, Halo was dope. Halo was the first time that I ever experienced, playing video games in person with other people. Like I literally, me and some people on the street that we lived on. And they actually, John and Jeremy, they kind of introduced us to Halo.
Yeah, definitely.
And I got to LAN at their house. We had the three original Xboxes, 3 TVs. I think we had, like 7, 8, maybe 9 people or something like that. Yeah. And we were literally split screen playing Halo with a bunch of people in a basement. And I was like 6 years old. Dude, it's pretty cool.
And by the way, really quickly, and I'm sure that most of the people listening are going to know what an original Xbox is. We're not talking Xbox 360. There was an Xbox before that. It was a big black box with a nice green circle in the middle. In white text, it said Xbox. We're going to put that here. And it had a nice big etched out X. It was fucking sick.
And it had a massive controller.
Dude, it was literally called the Duke. And they got so many complaints actually about how big it was that they finally redesigned it. And they came out with a smaller Xbox controller. And then that's what was the formula for the greatest, in my opinion, greatest controller of video game history, the Xbox 360.
360 controller, 360 console, party chat, all those great things, man. Before we get to 360 there, I was talking about how, video games are great. We did play outside a lot. We were still kind of in that world.
100%.
But, as much as people, would hate on video games and talk about like people wasting your time, I see a bunch of kids on iPads all the time, and they're playing games, but a lot of times if you're just sitting there on YouTube, you're not really like stimulating the brain. And these games that we were playing, you're basically just like solving puzzles. You're like there's a lot of fast-paced decision making that was happening like at a very young age, and there's no way that did not help me for the future of life.
100%.
In Spyro, I was even finding ways to kind of not cheat, but kind of get to places I was not allowed to.
Manipulate the gameplay, if you will.
Yeah, there were some cheats and stuff like Twisted Metal. Actually, I just clicked my brain.
Twisted Metal was nuts.
Twisted Metal. There's a map in the first one where if you fell off the skyscraper, at the bottom of it was like one of those you were fighting on skyscrapers.
Yeah.
And the bottom of the map was just like 2D, just lights. But if you fell off one of the skyscrapers, it literally said like L1, R1, X square circle, and it was like a cheat that they like put in the game on purpose, but you had to like find it by like literally falling off the map. It's pretty cool.
That's badass.
That's dope,
what, dude? It's funny. I have like later memories of playing Twisted Metal. I don't remember playing Twisted Metal too much on like the PS1 or the PS2, but I definitely remember playing.
Dude, Twisted Metal's an OG game. That game was scary as fuck though too. It was pretty scary.
Like the killer fucking like clown one, dude.
Sweet Tooth.
Yeah. Did you see that they made a show?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Did you watch it?
It wasn't bad.
Okay.
Funny enough, actually, we were just talking about wrestling in the beginning, but the guy who plays Sweet Tooth is a professional wrestler named Samoa Joe.
Very nice.
And fucking
huge. Jack Clown.
Perfectly jacked fat clown. Like perfectly
nice.
Like Sweet Tooth.
Nice.
Like he killed it.
Nice. Man, there's parts in Spyro where like you had to you basically had to unlock skills that you would have to then go back to previous levels to like get to places.
Right.
Well, there's these like you would get like little power ups and things. You would like run through one. It would make you like, you remember when your like legs would turn into wheels?
Yeah,
and you would
definitely.
go really fast. There was one where you get like you'd spit out a fireball, and there's one where you had like infinite flight.
Yeah, there was like a timer like top left.
Sure. Yeah, it was like a bar would like fill out. Well, there was a place where you had to climb ladders to get to like certain skills, and you didn't get that ladder skill until you're like way into the game.
Right.
But I was like a 6-year-old, figured out a way to run through the one that gave you the infinite flight for a little bit, and then fly you had to literally drift all the way around the map, and then landed on top of the ladder where I couldn't get to yet.
Dude, that's the
stuff I was doing at 6.
Yeah, and you're telling me that doesn't have something to do with like problem solving. And I kind of mentioned to you before when we were talking a little bit earlier. In Spyro, one of my favorite, the best part about that game, in my opinion, were the mini games.
Okay, yeah.
And there was a great mini game where like you played ice hockey against, I think it was like Krypton, or I forget what his name was.
Crypto?
But like, maybe, I think you play hockey against like one of his goons, or maybe him himself. I forget.
Okay,
but,
yeah.
That was like a sick mini game, and then my favorite one was the skateboarding mini game.
Yes, yeah.
And again, one of my favorite video game, franchises, if not just video games of all time, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That whole series, and I personally think that this is like one of the most underrated games ever. Is Tony Hawk's Underground 2.
Yeah.
That game was not only so much fun, it was so ahead of its time, but the amount of unlockable characters and like cheat codes and like certain tips and tricks that you could like figure out throughout the map. Like you could like there was the Boston map where you could sail like on the Boston like harbor ship, and if you like grinded across these like these teacups on top of the sailboat, you got the Boston Tea Party animation.
Yeah.
And then another thing was, I forget what the building is, but if you ride up this, like, if you're like, it's like a vertical half pipe, and if you ride up this ramp and you jump perfectly into this window, you could unlock Benjamin Franklin.
That's right, man. Right.
Dude, and his skating style was so weird, like, you would like kind of wobble.
Goofy dude, yeah.
But I think my favorite one as well was there, I don't know if it was a cheat code or maybe you just had to beat the game, but you could unlock Shrek. Like, literally Shrek.
Yeah.
And you got to skateboard, like, in Shrek's swamp, and you skateboarded on, if you remember the beginning of the movie, the opening, where he comes out of his outhouse.
Yep.
Like, that door.
Yep.
You're skateboarding on that door with, like, these, like, grimy green wheels underneath.
Yeah.
I just remember stuff like that.
No, that's a good call, dude. I was thinking when you were talking about Spyro skateboarding, dude, you remember some of, like, the trick names, dude?
Not off the top of the dome.
Ready for these? I'm gonna hit a little twisted melon.
Oh, dude, that's like an actual skate. That's a skateboarding move. Yeah,
you would do a backflip and like angle it this way, and it'd be like a twisted melon. I think there's some other fruit
like a McTwist.
I don't think they said McTwist. It was like
you might have called it something else.
Yeah, I mean you hit like a barrel roll and stuff too.
There was
Orange Crush was a thing.
Yeah.
You hit like 4 of them or something like that.
Dude. Yeah, and you had to do a certain amount of tricks like to.
Spyro's legit, man. Spyro's legit.
That was a great game. I think they actually, I think I was scrolling the Xbox Game Pass menu, and I think they remastered all 3 games, and you can but I think it's like actually pretty cheap.
There was some cool stuff, man.
I was thinking about just getting it, dude, because those games are fucking badass. And I think as I grew up, and we're gonna get into that, as I grew older, I kind of fell a little bit out of like single player games a little bit.
I still have, dude, and it's really hard for me to
even
get back.
And I want to get back into them so much. The closest I've kind of gotten, again, it's not really single player at all, but there's games that Denise and I will play together. Like the big one was It Takes Two.
Yeah.
And like that was like
cool
a really
duo
big one
games,
for like couples. And
did you guys play Overcooked?
Yeah, dude. Oh my, Overcooked is hilariust. It makes us fight. It's fucking
100%.
It's fucking hysterical, dude.
Like, dude, just fucking I'll hard carry, bro.
Just fucking cut the fucking vegetables and throw that shit over. I will run and do fucking everything. But nah, that's great. They actually, the company that made It Takes Two, they made like this kind of like futuristic but like even higher elevated version, kind of a same game but different characters, different story. It's called Split Fiction. And I'm looking to buy that one and play with her because it looks like a ton of fun.
Never heard of it, man. But yeah, video games like always had a very close place to the heart.
Definitely.
And it's what like one of the coolest things too about it is it allows you to kind of, I mean, just like allows you to escape, man. You know, have you seen those TikTok videos of it's like it would be like someone fighting like Star Wars Battlefront 2, and it's like while mom and dad are getting a divorce in the back, and it's like you just blasting like drones and stuff.
100%. Or like I'll always see like me playing Remember No Russian while my mom and dad are fighting during the housing crisis.
Oh my God,
like, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that, bro. By the way, if you don't know No Russian is, you should you should show your grandmother. But
don't do that.
But
don't do that.
Yeah, what was I playing? What was I doing at 8 years old playing No Russian? You know what I mean? And
well, no one knew, dude. Oh, that was the other. I was gonna say this when you were talking about the cheats in Tony Hawk, man. You know, the other funny thing too is like the internet still wasn't like its whole thing. So when you're talking about like these cheats and stuff, you couldn't just like YouTube like give me all the cheats for blah 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 blah.
Yes.
This was like you could go to like GameStop and like buy a book.
Yeah, they had these games. They had these giant game manuals. They were like the size of magazines, but they were dedicated to one game.
Yep.
And then sometimes you'd get lucky. There would be like, dude, I don't know if you remember this, but like at like in elementary school, like the Scholastic Book Fair, they used to sell books with a bunch of video game cheats for different consoles.
Really?
And I bought one for the 360, I think, one year when I was like 9 or something.
Dude, 360 is goated, man. I'm talking about, you know, we still play this game now, but NFL Street. I played on the Xbox.
Bro,
Street, NFL Street 2. Dude, got the football for NFL Street.
We did. If you know, you know, dude. The fucking it was black, orange, and white. Hell yeah. It sucked, but it was so cool.
No, it was good. It was good football. I actually, you know what's even crazy? The memories you have. I remember how it broke, dude. We used to play like recess football in like 3rd grade or some shit, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and we used to play on like a blacktop. We played on pavement. Yeah. So eventually that ball hits the ground a couple times. The edge of the football, like the one at the end, it's kind of just started to split, and so like the black rubber was like sticking.
Didn't
out.
it like bubble up kind of?
Yeah. Exactly,
I remember
exactly. But that dude, that's crazy, man. You're just so like so connected to this game as a kid, man, and then
dude,
you know you're gonna play it in real life.
And you know when we do this, you know, Ryan, you know, lives about an hour ish or so away from me, so you know this is you know, like I said, I think we said this in the first episode, but it's so cool that we get to use this to like reconnect. Yeah. But you know, dude, I have a GameCube and I have NFL Street too, and we will, dude. Yeah, we are absolutely playing NFL Street after this now. But shit. Dude, yeah, it's such a fucking great game, and you know, there's no greater feeling, and you kind of forget what it's like with the world that we live in today with video games. Like, you can just boot it up, play with anybody from all around the world, but there's something special about loading up a console, putting in the game. You don't have to fucking wait for it to download. It just starts when you start it, you know, how games fucking should. Yeah. And you have 2 controllers, you got your buddy next to you, and you got the fucking cable, so you gotta worry. You can't fucking rage and fucking, you know, pull it out, which I almost did a couple weeks ago. But it's fun, dude, and shit talking's right there. It's a good time, man.
You know what's funny about that is you talk about how that doesn't exist anymore because it's unfortunate. Like when anything new comes out and like things progress, and I actually have a great example for like a modern day one right now. Yeah. But as things progress, and like I think when people were making games back then, and we're not game designers or anything like that, but they were just doing it just to do it. Right. And like they're like, this is a cool game that comes out now. Like every game you play, and like it is what it is. Like it has to be. But now they're all business. Now it's like you got some pay to play. You're gonna spend $100 on skins and like do all these things.
It's all a financial fucking funnel for these game companies to stay alive. Like, dude, you have all these quote unquote free games that come out, and then you have these fucking microtransactions.
And I played them, and they're still good, but there was a different kind of like, this is the complete game at this time. You're not waiting for a DLC pack to come out or anything. You know what's funny? Ready? You know what I think is a new type of tech that is kind of in that world, and maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think something like to compare would be like 3D printing. Do you know how like when 3D printing came out, like literally like this, this is like a cool toy, but and I'm sure companies use these to make like legitimate things. But when it first came out, I was like, yo, you can make these cool things with it and like cool toys. But I feel like eventually it'll be a spot where it's like, this is just how everything is made, and like it's not like a cool new thing anymore. It just is.
That's such a good pull. I do 100%. I'm trying to think about what I was gonna say. You know, before right then and there, because but dude, yeah, let's just keep it honest. Like, DLC is still so relatively new, and now it's just so widely accepted as, you know, normal. Like, dude, I remember, I'm talking Halo 3, 2007. By the way, what a great year for video games. Halo 3 and Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Same year.
Gears of War 2.
And Gears 2. Bro, unreal year for games. And I remember the first DLC pack for a map dropping in those games, and I was like, whoa, like another map, like that's so cool. And then it just kind of slowly evolved to, buy the fucking season pass for $60 so you don't have to buy the DLC. Now it's like, buy the deluxe, the triple deluxe, the fucking the whole enchilada, platinum, gold. Like and now you are so like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're so, not like predisposed, but you're so like, you just assume now that whatever you buy, there's going to be more to buy.
Facts.
When it used to not be like that.
Yeah, well, fair. And I think they were probably coming out with new maps during that time. Now I kind of think that when developers make games, they probably make the whole game, and they only release 60% of it, and 100%. The other 40% is already made, but you're going to get that in like X billion, however time that goes.
1 billion%.
Funny thing about DLC, and you talk about Halo and like the first DLC, so interesting about that was when we first got a 360, I did get Halo 3, but we got the Xbox 360 arcade.
Yeah.
The arcade did not come with a hard drive.
It came with a 500 or maybe even less.
Maybe a memory card.
It was like a 256 megabyte or
whatever the memory card was.
It was fucking
but the thing about it is that you could not download the DLC packs if you did not have an external hard drive.
Right.
Like, it was literally you just like clicked it in.
I remember, yeah.
So, although Halo 3 was probably the greatest online experience of like video games, like for me, period. It was like kind of the first one too. Actually, that's a lie. The first game I ever played online was that Caleb was playing Gears. Gears of War was the first game I ever played online.
Dude,
I didn't even know about online gaming.
I remember going to Caleb's house, and dude, you know how sometimes you just have these weird childhood memories, shit just kind of sticks out randomly. I remember going to Caleb's house, and Josh was in their living room, either in their living room or like maybe in their bedroom upstairs. He was playing on the hardest difficulty, the final boss level of Gears 1.
Okay.
And it's like these bats, this dude with a bunch of fucking bats.
Obviously was probably with you, but
swarm, and like I remember being like, I'm like 7.
Gears a fucked up game.
Whoa, what the fuck is that? Dude, I thought that was the
coolest
thing ever.
One of the funniest things about Life Now from Gears of War is who makes Gears of War? Do you know?
Off the top of the dome?
Yeah, do you know?
Bungie?
No, that's Halo.
Ubisoft?
Nope.
I don't know.
It's Epic Games, who make Fortnite.
Shut the fuck up. Like, they've always made it?
Bro, yes. Like, if you look at Fortnite, and if you think about the way the people run around and stuff in the third person, it really is. It is definitely mimicked from Gears. 100%. So you talk about like the most bloodiest, gory shooter where you're literally chainsawing people in half.
Dude.
And now they make Fortnite where you got Sabrina Carpenter doing TikTok dances, bro.
Bro,
how funny is that?
How the turntables, you know what I mean?
Literally.
Like,
hey, props to them for adapting, because that's crazy.
I remember
that's crazy.
There was like a shotgun in that game. I think it was called like the Mauler or something.
It's called the Gnasher, and dude, no
the
bullshit too.
Yes, the Gnasher.
I don't know if that you would know, but like when I played Fortnite like seasons like 2 through 7, the semi-auto shotgun is that shotgun, by the way.
Yeah, that adds up.
Shotgun,
that's so crazy. But dude, I remember. Well, I have such a weird, vivid memory. It was like Halo. It was Gears of War 3. Might have been. I guess that would have been 09 or whatever year that was. But we did have it, which is kind of crazy. We did have Gear. I don't believe we ever bought one or ever had 1 or 2. I think we had 3.
Yeah,
I only have memories.
I remember buying 5. I think Gears 5.
Well, sure, probably early. No, 100%. I was just saying, like, I'm thinking like in order 1, 2, 3. I don't think we bought. I think I remember playing 1 and 2 at other people's houses, but we had 3. And I remember you know how you could like you could run up to a wall and then like duck and hide, but like you press it. I remember one time, bro, it kind of scarred me. I had to like leave the game. I was like 10 or not, I don't even know.
Okay.
This kid was running up, he slid and he popped his head up. I had a Gnasher. I pumped him in the head. His head exploded. The visual effects, his head exploded. I'm like, Oh, that's too real.
Yeah.
Like, dude, because I remember in 2007 playing Halo 3 and Call of Duty, and it's like, just like point and shoot, and then I shoot him a couple times. I shoot this target 4 times, and then he falls. Like, cool. That was like the most like visceral. Like, what am I playing?
Yeah, and Gears is something serious, man.
That was probably the game that got
serious.
all those like Supreme Court justices to say video games is fucking causing violence and murderers and stuff. Dude, if I were a parent and I saw my kid playing Gears of War 3 and I didn't know what was going on, I would definitely be like, what is on my TV screen?
Halo 3 was the golden era of gaming, bro. You ready for this name I'm about to call it? Do you remember playing with Green Sumo? Stop playing right now. Stop playing, bro. Dude, so this will be a
Green
good bridge.
Sumo 54.
I think his name was it 54? Wasn't it just Green Sumo?
I thought he had to.
Yeah, numbers.
I think no. He might have been OG Green Sumo, but I think he might have had Green Sumo 54. If you're out there, dude, you're the fucking man. You are the fucking.
Shout out.
I used to play with him even after you stopped talking to him.
Yeah.
I think we played Rocket League once together.
Insane.
Dude,
I can tell you, but it's pretty cool how like there's like this way to like you're really just connected with people from all over the world. You don't even know who they are. It's not even the other thing too. Like, it's not weird, Like I think there's like oh, you're gonna get
stigma,
kidnapped and fucking taken away from blah 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 blah.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's like nah, dude. Like if anything, it's sculpted us to like be like immune to that, right? Like
that, and even just more sociable than we already were. You know what I mean? Like being more personable. Being more. Inclined to speak to people that you may never have. But real quick, like to piggyback off of what you said about like the whole like you're gonna get fucking kidnapped. Right. Dude, I flew across the country at 17 years old to meet somebody I met on the internet. You know what I mean? And my mom was like, "What if you die? What if you get?" I'm like, "Mom, I know these people. Like we've talked a bit. Like it's different."
Sure,
and we were 17 and like we had the fucking time of our lives. But it is so crazy. Like the whole time, my mom was like, if you get kidnapped and molested, I mean, it's on you. I was like, fuck, all right. And I did it.
Try not to get molested while you're out there.
So it was good.
Good shit, dude. But dude, Halo 3, man, that's I wasn't even really playing Call of Duty too much. It was really just Halo. Just straight up, me and my friends played a shit ton of Halo.
Real.
The custom games in Halo are incredible.
Found Forge.
Yeah. And that didn't come until we got the hard drive. Oh, actually, more to that. So you couldn't even play those custom maps.
Right.
So you couldn't play ranked, right? So I was just playing a buttload of Social Slayer.
Yes.
And you might have been able to play Lone Wolf. I don't know. Anyway.
No, you are right. There was like something.
There was one rank you
held
could play.
Back. Or
Maybe
no,
not.
no. There was one ranked where you could play it, but since we didn't have the external hard drive,
and dude, I just started getting addicted, man. I remember going to Caleb's house, and like to basically play Halo, and like that's kind of what was going on.
That's respectable.
I didn't even know like online gaming was a thing. And then Call of Duty, like Halo 3, how 12? What year is that? 07? 07. Yeah, so like 11, 12, 13.
Yep.
Probably really started playing COD in like 13, 14 when I was in middle school.
Yeah, that would have been Black Ops, MW2.
MW2 was the first one I played. Nah, that's a lie. COD 4
you played COD 4 online because I played COD 4 online.
COD 4 was the first one I played. You know what's actually crazy? All the Call of Duty I've played in my life, I have never played World at War.
I knew you were going to say that. You want to know why? Because it's the only one we didn't own.
Yeah, never played it.
I don't really know why we didn't own it because it went COD 4, World at War, and then MW2. And Can I be honest with you? I'll tell you probably why. We probably, that entire year that we missed out on World War, we were probably just fucking playing Halo 3.
Yeah, probably.
Because Halo 3 was so transformative, and in my opinion, you say the best online experience. I think it's the greatest first-person shooter ever made.
It's a great time.
I think that the guns are so fucking balanced. I think the gameplay, it's not fast, it's not slow, it's perfectly methodical. You can have so much fucking fun. There's so many different things to do. The racetracks that people were building, like
custom games, dude.
The jump, like the parkour map, dude. Like they're
talking about Jenga the other day. Remember the Jenga map?
Yes, dude. Do you remember the trash map? It was called like garbage disposal map.
Yeah.
Right, you would like just like push it into like, dude, like bro, there's
just launch it at the
like there were so many cool. Anybody could play that game. Like, dude, Jolie played that game.
Dude,
you know what
Jolie
I mean?
still to this day loves to tell me that on fucking Epitaph or whatever the hell that map is called, that
You're
she
right.
no-scoped me across the map. And she'll tell people that till the end of time.
Fun fact, why are Guardian and Epitaph both the same map?
No, it's not Guardian. It's Epitaph and Epitome is the map.
Describe Epitaph?
It's the same map, and I think just in the game they changed, like, no lie, I think it's just like weapon placement and like.
No, what does Epitaph look like? Am I not thinking of the
it
right
looks
map?
like a cross, kind of. It looks like it has like two lifts on each side. There's two lifts in the map.
Yeah.
It's very small.
Yeah.
It's inside. It's gray as fuck. There's
That
on the outside of the
sounds
map.
like-
There's like walkways and stuff on the outside around it.
Yeah, and then was there...
There's an orange lift and then like a small blue lift.
That's not Guardian?
Well, Guardian does have an orange lift and two small blue lifts, but the Guardian is like in trees and shit. There's a giant tree. Epitaph is like in a perfect building. When you lift, you land on this top little middle arrow thing.
Okay. What was the color scheme?
Gray and gray.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I remember now.
Yeah.
Sorry, a little sidetrack there.
And it looked like you were floating in sky. Like you were in a sky if you walked outside.
That makes
floating.
Yeah, I remember. I just had the craziest epiphany. Like I know I said like I knew what you meant. I didn't really, but now I just boom, I saw it.
Let's go, dude.
What a great map. And then that's the one with that big open platform, and then at the end of it there's a sniper, right? In the sky.
Yes.
I remember. But she sniped you across the map. I do remember
she knows
that.
me across the map. She's forever talk about that, and I'm glad that she got to experience that, and that she has that over me.
Yeah, good for her. I mean, you got to hold the things over people that you can, you know what I mean? No matter how big nor small.
Before we get into the Call of Duty world, which we'll definitely talk about plenty, do you know what game genre that was such a big part that we haven't even really talked about yet, but it was very formative during this time?
Racing.
Nope. Keep going.
Shit. Not FPSs.
Not FPS. Not racing.
Because I was thinking like NASCAR.
Sure,
like
NASCAR.
Need for Speed.
NASCAR was fun. We used to back in the day. We used to play
on purpose.
I would turn the car around and then go blow up as many cars as possible.
Oh my god, spin out as many. Dude, the old NASCAR games, it would say something like that someone died.
It would be the cars total. If the cars blew. I don't
No.
think
All right,
died.
Bro, so maybe it wasn't a game that we owned, but I remember, again, one of those weird fever dreams. I was with Mom, of course, and we were at one of her friends. Who knows what was going on?
Oh, okay.
Could have been Booger. Who knows?
Holy shit.
Anyway, but I remember whoever the woman that Mom was meeting up with had a kid, and they were playing NASCAR, and I remember... on the screen, he got it to say
Dale
Earnhardt.
Earnhardt.
Yeah, Dale Earnhardt. So Dale Earnhardt Jr. dead. I can't believe that. Bro, that's so funny.
Shit.
Were you there?
No.
But,
well, dude, all right. You know that, did you ever hear the thing about how, like, Dale Earnhardt not Jr. died? He died in a race.
Racing, yeah.
Bro, and it's like the creepiest shit ever because I see it pops up on Twitter whenever the Daytona 500 comes into back, it'll re-hit the algorithm.
Yeah.
And it's fucking creepy because it's him in an interview like an hour before the race.
What'd he say?
And he's just chilling, like posted, like literally like legs on a desk, posted up talking, and like, hey Dale, you're gonna, I don't know how many, but like, oh, you're here for like maybe your 7th win or whatever. And
whatever, yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's gonna be, we got a good car. He's like you're gonna see some things out there you've never seen before. And then the dude crashes and dies.
Shut the fuck.
It's
dude,
fucking
didn't he like
weird.
go up the wall and like it wasn't?
Nah, it was actually like if you watched it, it was like pretty. I mean, it's fucking. You're crashing a car,
it's
so
terrible.
like, now it literally he just like someone kind of bumps him. Someone kind of bumps him, and he kind of like goes down and then just like slingshots straight up into the wall.
That is fucking terrible. Imagine being there live watching. Oh my god.
Yeah, his son like almost won the race too, or some shit, which was even crazier during the time. We're getting all over the place.
Anyway, so not NASCAR, not driving, not racing, not shooting. Like fucking like kind of like Skyrim kind of game, like Oblivion.
That was a good time too.
Is that where you're getting at?
Shout out Mike. Shout out Mike
Mikey.
Lawless if you ever listen to this.
Shout out.
But shout out Mike Lawless actually for the other game that I'm talking about.
Magic
Nope.
Gathering?
It's a video game. You might not even think of it as a video game, which is even crazier. But Mike Lawless put us onto this.
Smash Brothers?
Nope.
I got nothing. You want me to keep going?
Guitar Hero.
Oh my God! Oh my God, dude. Yeah, if I just blew out your fucking eardrums, suck it. Oh my God, bro. Yeah, fuck you, Aaron. But dude, Guitar Hero. Oh my God, that is one of my favorite games of all time. I have 4 guitars at my fucking house.
I'm surprised you didn't click on that one,
dude. I honestly forgot that the first time we ever played that was at
Dad's house with Mike
in the
and
basement.
his friend Calvin.
Yeah, Guitar Hero 2.
Guitar Hero 1, no.
Was it GH1?
Yeah, OG 1, because I even remember they were telling us that, like, some of the songs in Guitar Hero 1, like, weren't the actual songs, so they didn't have, like, the licensing and stuff for it.
Yeah, dude, but the same thing, too, with Guitar Hero 2.
Okay.
It wasn't until the third one.
Gotcha.
Because they didn't realize, real quick, I'm going to Guitar Hero lore dump on you, but they did not realize how amazingly popular that Guitar Hero was going to get. I mean, first of all, I'm skipping ahead here, but Guitar Hero 3 for a long time was the greatest selling video game in the history of video games.
Fuck yeah.
But Guitar Hero 2, they didn't know how successful it was going to be. They made so much money from it that they were finally able to buy licensed tracks.
Makes
but
sense.
in both 1 and 2, it was you would see like it would be like Heart-Shaped Box by Nirvana, but it would be like as played by
okay.
And then but before I get corrected in our non-existent comments, if you had Guitar Hero 2 for the Xbox 360, it actually came with My Chemical Romance's Dead.
That's right. Yeah, man. But dude, Guitar Hero was
anyway
shit, man.
So much fun.
I was never on that like expert level of that, like some of my friends were and stuff. But I love that game to death, dude. Learned so much music through that game, man.
Oh my God, dude! You want to talk about that? How it shaped the way that we listen to music and find artists, dude.
Facts, dude. You know, and I think what's funny. You said like the whole they could afford the licensing.
Yeah.
I think you probably flip the script the other way to where like a lot of artists are like, oh, we probably should be putting our stuff on here because it's gonna blow up. Like, dude, think of like Through the Fire and the Flames, Dragon Force. You would have never heard of them ever, but they have like one of the most popular songs of all times because of this video game.
100%. I mean, yeah, if you were like a speed metal fan in 2007,
I can't even tell you what speed metal was or is right now.
Right, but like, and you were listening to Dragon Force at that time, like that's super cool. But you can't tell me that any kid born from 95 to 2000 cannot tell you about Through the Fire and Flames on Expert. Like that is like, you know what I mean? That was like such a like, oh my God, like that kid in your school could do it. Like it's like fucking like he's like mythological.
Yeah.
And
like Tommy was on that shit, by the way.
Dude, I know him and Kyle.
Yeah, him and Kyle. Yeah, the freaks.
Filthy. Both great guitar players too.
Guess it makes sense. Yeah, good at guitar, good at guitar video games.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're a freak. This dude plays Guitar Hero left-handed, but looks at it with the right-handed notes.
Yeah.
Honestly, Jake, you and Casey got a lot in common, bro. You know Jake plays Call of Duty inverted?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's insane.
Oh, okay. See, that's just you're a psycho. I can't do that.
He plays inverted.
I
bro.
wonder. You know, what's funny. Jake is a little old. I don't know if I wonder if he grew up like Nintendo 64. Like no. Like
he's a little old.
No, but like GoldenEye was like a real like James Bond game. GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64 was a massive game. The controls on that notoriously were inverted. So a lot of kids who grew up playing that game just got used to it, and they actually play everything inverted. So that's a good question for Jake. So you should ask if he's ever played GoldenEye. I
just said he's dumb, dude. And just
no. He might be a little different, but he's not dumb. But what I will say about the left-handed, right-handed thing is I remember the first time I picked up a guitar to play Guitar Hero. I was probably like 7 or 8, and I tried to pick it up right-handed, and it just felt so like wrong. And I was like, because I was like, I don't know why, but even as a kid, I was like, my left hand is never going to be fast enough to hit the notes that I want to hit. But I know that my right hand absolutely will, and then I can just get strong at strumming. So, but the screen, I don't even think on Guitar Hero 1 you could even press pause and flip it. I don't even know if you could flip it. So I just got used to looking at the screen the way that it was, and it never once. You know what's so funny? I don't think that got pointed out to me until years later that someone was like, "Wait a minute, you're playing lefty, but it's right." I just in my brain the whole time I'm like, no, that's just the way the notes are, and it's just what made sense in my head.
Dude, just That game was so fun, man. And
it still is.
Absolutely. You beat my ass the other day. We went to Dave & Buster's.
I did.
You smoked my shit.
I do be smoking fools.
You know, it's how it goes. Dude, honestly, when you haven't played that game in a long time, bro, you get into it, bro, and like my whole forearm. I can't feel my arm right now.
Dude, your forearms go crazy.
Yeah, you get jacked, dude. Just play Guitar Hero.
All day. Yeah, if you can.
Hilarious. But I just want to bring
you're
that up.
So right. That's such a banger.
Such a banger, dude. So much music. Like the Strokes, bro. Like honestly, like Reptilia.
Reptilia, dude. I bought Jolie and Erica Strokes record for Christmas. I think it was last year. I think, and dude, I fucking love the Strokes.
Bro, did I ever tell you some funny on the spectrum thing for me about Guitar Hero? What I would do, dude, when I was so ingrained in these games and like everything that like, bro, when I was young, like in taking like the standardized tests and shit. How you have to like fill in the little bubbles. Yeah. I'm so crazy that after I was done the test, because I was usually done before people, and I'm just sitting there doing nothing. I literally would like look at my answers on the test and be like playing Guitar Hero, looking at like B, A, C, D.
Oh, then your like index would be A, B. That's
acting as if I was playing Guitar Hero, reading my standardized test results back or whatever.
Fuck yeah, dude!
Yeah, dude.
Rock out, man!
Absolute
Hell
freak.
yeah!
Absolute freak.
Dude, but like there are some bands that, like, again, like you're so right, like the Strokes. I would have never thought, like, dude, but I also like I got like super big like into metalcore and like kind of like screamo kind of music and stuff, and like Fall of Troy. They have this great. It was like a bonus song. It was FCP remix. If you remember that.
I do not.
That was a really
the
great.
The band's name is Fall of Troy.
Yes.
What's like the light that blinds or some shit like As I Lay Dying? That
yes.
Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah. As I Lay Dying is a banger.
The Slayer song, Raining Blood's pretty
Slayer,
fire.
Raining Blood. Dude, dude, Tenacious D is in Guitar Hero 3. The funny. Metal. That's like one of my.
That's funny.
Dude, that's a good song.
You know how you have to play the bosses, bro? Like the devil went down to Georgia.
What sucks, dude? That exact version of the song is like almost impossible to find on streaming services.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it not like a real song or something?
It like is, but it's not. It's like nowhere. It's not on Spotify. It's not on Apple Music. The only way to listen to it is if you go on fucking like YouTube. That's not a hater. Oh, remember when you faced the guitarist from Rage Against the Machine, Tom Morello?
Yeah. Did I tell you the story about the Rage Against the Machine, bro?
No.
All right, so this is funny as hell. Like I just sang, kind of related, but I just sang karaoke for Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I was talking shit about the Beastie Boys and Rage Against the Machine. Because I was like, dude, they're both like white rock rap almost, whatever. I've kind of put them in the same genre. And this person I know was talking crap to me about the fact that I was talking crap about them. So then I flipped the script and I started singing karaoke. Beastie Boys, Fight for Your Right. It was hilarious.
I'm like,
dude, I just like what is the Rage Against the Machine song that's on Guitar Hero?
It has to be
Bulls on Parade.
Yeah.
I hate that riff, dude. That's what it is.
You know, they have another song. They have another song. It might be in Guitar Hero World Tour, or it might have been Rock Band, but it was like, oh, you singing that riff just put that other riff out of my head. It was like, it's like, crazy forces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be a course.
Dude.
Buddy, force it. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Killing in the Name.
Killing in the Name. Yeah. I got it. We're going to get copyright struck. I'm so good.
It's acapelling Rage Against the Machine.
I've seen less get taken down. But no, Guitar Hero was definitely a incredibly influential. It made me want to learn guitar. It revolutionized my music taste. And then, funny enough, on this little Guitar Hero, talk here, train, it got really played out really fast because I forget who the game studio is, but it might have been Activision. Activision
fucks up everything.
Well, here we go. So Activision was like, oh my God, Guitar Hero 3, most successful video game of all time. They came out with like 15 Guitar Heroes in less than 3 years.
Which is all bands,
across
right?
a bunch of different like they came out with like 4 DS games.
Yeah,
like they came out with dude, they basically
the DS thing was kind of cool. It was a cool concept.
No, it was. I had it.
Yeah,
it was
cool
fun. It was really, really cool. But
plug the cartridge in. And
it had the little and you play with the style. It was
cool
fun.
Concept.
But the problem was too is they started releasing like glorified DLC packs as $60 games. Like they had like Guitar Hero Rock the 80s, but it was basically Guitar Hero 2. So it was an old game with like 10 new songs. And then just Guitar Hero 3, and then they did like
Van Halen, Aerosmith.
Yeah, and then like
I'm
Rock
sure
Band.
Other bands, but
Rock Band even did the same thing, but dude, Rock Band
brought these. Rock Band brought the microphones and the drums.
100%, which then Guitar Hero fucking copied with World Tour. But dude, I remember when we were kids, you used to play drums. You were a dog.
Dude,
I'll play guitar.
I wish I had that skill now.
I'll play guitar and sing, because I had to. I mean, come on.
Okay.
And then Joel would play guitar, bass, but
we talk about the social element too, man. You talk about like, as we bring like kind of the cool core things about all of this is it's like it's not the stigma about like the isolation and things like that. No, these are literally like fun party games that like bring people together,
dude.
And I would not change any of that for the life. If I could legitimate like not to be an old reminiscing person, but like think about like no, if I could relive those moments like exactly the same way they happen, I would do it.
Dude,
tomorrow.
fucking do it, man. I just read something. Nostalgia is beautiful because nostalgia means that you had a life that was worth smiling.
Ooh, I like that.
You had a life that was worth smiling about. You had a life worth reminiscing.
Yeah.
There's people who might not have nostalgia for things. You know what I mean? But dude, I think about those moments all the time. I remember, dude, he might get a kick out of this. My buddy Dan McDowell. He's in North Carolina, I think, right now, doing his damn thing.
Yeah.
But shout out Navy. But him and I in his neighborhood, we were looking up to buy a full Rock Band set. We were probably like, dude, I'm not even kidding. We were probably 18 or 19 because we wanted to get our friends together to play drunk Rock Band.
Hell yeah.
And it was a fucking blast, dude.
Yeah.
We bought 2 working guitars. We bought a mic. The drums were, dude, it was so funny. We met this like super like cool guy, actually. It was like on one of those apps. It was like
OfferUp or something
like that. Yeah, exactly. Something like that. And we got to his house. Dude, massive fucking house. This dude was fucking rich. Probably had fucking everything tenfold in his whole life. And he's like, yeah, dude, I just kind of remembered I had all this Rock Band shit and thought to get rid of it as a whole set.
Nice.
We actually got him to negotiate the price lower.
Nice.
And then he was like, well, because Dan and I were like, fuck it, we'll just take the shit and go. He's like, do you guys want to test, see if it works?
You guys want to play right now?
Dude, I'm not. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. So Dan hopped on guitar. I picked up the mic. And I started singing, and this dude was like, whoa, you can, like, actually sing.
Okay.
And, unfortunately, as I've, like, aged and, that falsetto in my voice is probably somewhere else.
Right,
but at the time, I remember, I think I was singing, it was Mr. Brightside on Rock Band 1.
Carry on my wayward son.
Well, that's Kansas. A little different. But, yeah, man, banger nonetheless.
Yeah.
Banger nonetheless.
Killers? Mr. White.
Mr. Brightside.
Mr. Brightside. That's
Mr. Whiteside?
Mr. White. Well, I was getting to it's a national anthem right there. Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, I mean,
jealousy. I actually love the Killers, dude.
Dude, fire, man. Dude, to this day, bro. Read My Mind, I think, is one of the greatest rock songs of all time. Book it.
Book it, dude. Book it. So, Guitar, man, I just want to talk about that because we're about to get into that world of like coming out of. We're about to get into the real world of like Call of Duty for me. Yeah, and it's kind of like where our gaming kind of starts branching in different routes.
Definitely.
I was playing a shit ton of sports. I played baseball and football at this time for most of it.
Yep.
And just like every Uncle Rico story out there, you know what I mean, dude. If I
wasn't for that bum knee, dude,
yeah, I would be in the pros right now.
100%.
Nah, but I pitched so much at a young age. Had no maintenance on it. No one knew what I had. No one guiding me really.
Dude,
I was just throwing on.
This motherfucker was throwing double headers at like 12 years old, dude.
Stupid.
Like stupid shit that should have never been allowed.
But you just don't even like. There was no one to tell me not to do it, man. There was no one to tell me not to.
And when you're a competitor and you actually give a fuck about what you're doing, and no one's telling you not to do it, you're like, fuck it, I'm better than all these fucking idiots, so I'm just gonna do it.
Exactly. And of course, self-destructive, which still has
Classic.
followed me into my 20s for sure.
Vintage, Ryan.
Yeah. And I like messed up my shoulder, so like when I was started playing COD, and then like I remember in middle school, like people actually I still talk to Karan. I'm playing Marvel Rivals with Karan right now.
Goat.
But like he was, him and this crew we went to middle school with, they were playing they started talking about these game battles matches. So I'm playing Call of Duty, playing pubs.
What y'all know about game battles?
Game battles.
What you know about GBs?
Game battles,
Who's trying to run GBs after school? What you know about that? Probably nothing.
White out 1v1 TDM GBs, bro. Lay down in the.
Yeah, meet me on fucking Rust, bro.
So, and I tried to play with them, dude, and they didn't want to play with me, man. They didn't want to play with me.
Who are they? Are you gonna name them?
I mean, sure, bro. We're cool. They're okay, you don't know these. Tyler Hampson I played baseball with.
Okay.
You know that. Eric Brown, if you know him.
No.
Do you know who Brian and Mike Jaco are?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike Jaco. So Mike was actually legit as fuck at COD in
at
MW2.
The time.
Yeah, and Chris Galgon too. Chips Ahoy. So that
Chris Galgon wasn't letting you play Call of Duty.
Bro, he wasn't. They told me that I was not allowed to play on the team. So you know what I did?
What a fucking loser.
No, dude.
Fuck
off.
I'm kidding.
Fuck off. We were 13, 14. So
hey, you can get serious at that time.
I started going to GB forums, dude. I went to the forums, bro. I was posting forums. Back in the day, dude. People were like, 4 out of 5, gun skill. 4 out of 5 communication. I got Turtle Beach X31s.
Dude.
And I'm coming to the GB forum tryouts.
What y'all know about GB forums? What do you know about an internet forum? I guess the closest thing we have to that, I guess, is like a Twitter thread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But forums were different, dude.
Reddit maybe would probably be the closest thing
okay,
now. Actually,
that's
Reddit's
good call,
kind of
good
still
call.
similar. And so that was like Modern Warfare 2.
Banger.
And actually in COD 4, they played. That's actually the real reason I didn't really play World at War. They were playing COD 4. So.
Oh, and you were just trying to fit in with the cool kids.
Yeah, I was trying to fit in with the cool kids.
They
were playing COD 4 GVs, man. And then MW2 comes out.
It's hard to fit in when you're too busy
COD
standing
4,
out, right?
MW2, and Black Ops 1's after that.
I just dropped a bar on you.
You did.
But
it's hard to
continue.
fit in when you're too busy standing out.
Damn right.
Damn, dude. Look at this guy. Fucking
What can I say?
philosopher over here, dude.
Philosophizer.
Let's fucking go.
You think that fish can see air? Like we can
I
see water?
saw that, and honestly, sober as fuck, I was like, you know what? I think they're onto something.
God
right
damn
now,
it,
bro.
he's right.
They are onto something right now, because that makes so much sense.
Anyway, continue. COD 4.
I was about to go down that rabbit hole.
All right, COD 4.
COD 4.
No World at War.
GVs, boom, just having a good time playing COD 4, and then Modern Warfare 2. Started playing shit ton of pubs, GBs, doing that whole thing, meeting random people, talking to random people on the internet, playing Search and Destroy game battles matches, which are basically free matches where you would just sign up on this website and then you would just play in these custom games and usually just play Search and Destroy.
Yeah, with a certain set of rules. You were playing by MLG rules.
Correct.
Competitive rules.
Well, kind of.
They morphed over time.
Yeah, they morphed over time. And then... actually, we got Modern Warfare 2 for Christmas. We were Christmas noobs. I was Christmas noob for Modern Warfare 2. You were playing a lot of sports games.
This is a good call, man. I was playing a lot of sports games. I was a big Madden believer. I still am to this day. You know what I mean? I still buy Madden every year. To this day, the only Madden that I actually never owned, randomly for some reason, was Madden 11. We had every Madden from 2002 to 2010.
Yep.
And then for some reason, 2011, skipped that year. Must have been busy. You know what I mean? Going on hot dates, I don't know. And then picked it right back up with Peyton.
You were going out?
I'm going out. That's for Joel. But then I picked it right back up. We actually, for Christmas, got Madden 12.
Okay.
And then I played every single Madden since then.
All right. Well.
But anyway, also at this time as well is... Around this time, one of my best buddies who lived down the street, and by down the street, I mean a literal house down, Jake Sheridan, he actually grew up loving wrestling. And I, wasn't as privileged as some, but I never really had the freedom to really, watch what I wanted to watch.
Right.
Because there was just a certain individual who was just constantly utilizing that singular television. And not only that, if you think about this, apparently this is pretty rare, but... We grew up, we did not have cable boxes in our rooms.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I played probably so many video games.
Exactly, right. So my
had Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly. And my buddies, he grew up watching wrestling, and around this time he always had they were called SmackDown versus Raw 2000 blank at the time.
Right.
And so I would always go over to his house and we would play SmackDown versus Raw, and I was playing with these wrestlers that I just had to assume were good or whatever. I didn't know. Dude, bro, really quickly, this makes me really mad. There was one time at band camp, but there was this one time where I'm playing with Jake and this kid Will, and it's the three of us, and they're like, "Yo, Case, you think you're so good? Beat us 2-on-1." So there was a way to do 1v2 handicap matches, and bro. Oh, no. I lied. It wasn't a 1v1 hit, but I'll tell you this. It was 2v2, but I was playing both of my guys, and then Will and Jake were playing, each controlling their guy. Okay. And I didn't know the controls so in a tag team match, you get tagged in, and then whoever is the active guy, that's the only guy who could wrestle. And then the guy on the ring waiting, he is not allowed to get in the ring because he hasn't been tagged in. And if he is, you have a 5-second count, and if you are still in the ring when the ref counts to 5, match disqualified, and you lose. So I accidentally brought my other guy in the ring, and I didn't know how to take him out, so I'm asking my friends, yo, how do I get this guy out of the ring? And they let me get disqualified, and they let me lose, and they're like, damn, Case, you suck. Fuck you, fuck. I'm like, bro, y'all some pussies. But anyway, so a lot of sports games. I was definitely playing a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Halo, but I was playing a shit ton of Madden, and then wrestling games as well, 100%.
So I think I'm going to probably talk about COD a lot right now. There's nothing to go down here.
There it is.
So we talk about MD2's that. So I started playing these competitive matches. Oh, I wasn't allowed to play sports anymore. Just like a typical asshole. Doctor told me I wasn't allowed to play baseball for high school. So we're talking about I'm 15 at this point. And that I had to do physical therapy and all this bullshit, yada yada. And
stupid.
Not only didn't have money and stuff to go to physical therapy, but I started playing travel ball anyway, and then probably just messed it up more. So I started playing competitive video games instead.
You needed to fill that competitive urge.
Facts. And Black Ops 1 comes out, and this is where I was playing with my boys a lot. This is when Caleb started doing his little 1v1 bullshit ass TDM GP single stuff. And we were playing dubs and stuff like that. And this is actually where I met Aaron, was in Black Ops 1.
Mono.
Yes. So, Chips Ahoy. And Aaron's probably going to correct me on this. But basically, Chris met the other one, you remember Use Frags?
Yeah.
You do remember?
He hacked my fucking Xbox account. For no reason.
Dude, what a freak.
What a loser.
What a freak.
Fuck you.
I think he went to jail at some point.
Good. Fuck him. I had to make a whole new dude, I had the greatest gamer tag of all time. I was Rockzilla 12. Can't use that one anymore. I had to be Rockzilla 21. What a crock of shit. Continue.
So that is where that's where I met Aaron, which is funny as hell. You talk, and again more someone I've been to his wedding, man. It's
unbelievable.
What a time.
Great
someone I've known
human.
Since what year is that then? 20.
What game?
Black Ops 1, I think it's 2010.
2010.
2010.
Yeah, that adds up because 2009 was MW3.
Yeah, 2010, dude. So it's 15 years, man.
Yeah. Fuck.
It's crazy, man. It's that is really cool. And then as we were playing GB match and stuff through that, Modern Warfare 3 comes out, and then this is where I kind of started doing some comp shit.
Yeah.
So there wasn't. We were playing on 360.
Mm-hmm.
There was a pro COD scene, but they actually all played on PlayStation. And then Modern Warfare 3, the contract was up, so there was a Xbox. They the contract for comp switched to Modern
Microsoft bought the rights.
Yeah, exactly. So they had the rights to COD. So then, and this is cool, man. One of the coolest things too, man, is that even though Mom never knew what the hell was going on, she there's no way that she could have known what was going on, but she did support. And you actually went too.
Dude, hell yeah. To your first
tournament, dude. Modern Warfare 3 was to a free-for-all tournament, NJ Halo.
In Jersey.
Yeah, and it was called, New Jersey Halo is what the tournament was called.
But it was
called Halo, but yeah, they had.
But it was COD.
Exactly. And
really quick fun fact, while you were playing your tournament, there was a movie theater next door, and Mom and I watched 21 Jump Street in theaters.
Shit. Okay.
What a fucking heater.
Okay, cool.
That was, dude.
Yeah.
That was such a cool thing. You were doing your thing in there, and Mom and I were laughing our ass off at 21 Jump Street.
Fun fact, I was actually getting smoked in there, by the way. So this is, I didn't have any like team or anything like this.
Wasn't Optic there?
Bro, nah. So okay.
Are you sure? I don't know why.
Because there wasn't, the pro scene kind of died. There wasn't any like
maybe I'm thinking of something else.
MW3, the pro scene kind of died. There wasn't like really like the support for it because it did switch over to Xbox. I'm not exactly sure, but I kind of forget that part. But the first NJ Halo I went to, all I played was in a free for all, and I got fucking smoked. But then started playing like forums and shit like that. I went to this. It was UMG NJ, so UMG New Jersey.
Yeah.
And that's like really how it all started. This is Modern Warfare 3, and then I play with people from the forums who are local to the area, and we pulled up and beat some team, that we were not supposed to beat, basically. And then like there wasn't really teams. It was basically just like all pickup teams and shit like that. But it kind of put us on the map, people on the map, whoever wanted to keep playing. Yeah, exactly. To kind of keep moving, and then it all just kind of started taking off, dude. I was addicted. I was good, and I got a check, dude. I made like $80, from finishing second place at this tournament.
Yeah, and you were like
15 or 16 at that
Either
time.
way, you just got paid to play video games.
Yeah.
And when you really like connect those, you're like, I just got paid to do something that I've been willingly doing for free.
Yeah.
And also, quickly, how are you going to glaze over the fact, didn't you not win a free-for-all tournament at GameStop?
Oh, yeah, at the release of Modern Warfare 3, dude. Shout out
come on,
shout
dude.
out Chris Axside, bro. No, the midnight release, back when midnight releases were a thing, dude. We had midnight releases. We were sitting outside waiting for video games. And, me, I think like me, Caleb, probably like Kyle and stuff was there too. And we pulled up, and then, there was like a 1v1, like, the free-for-all GameStop tournament. Yeah, and I won that shit. You're right. I think.
You got a shirt.
Did I get a shirt?
I want that shirt so bad. I don't know where it is. I hope we didn't donate
I think it was like an XL, like XXL. So
I know. I'd love it. That'd be perfect for me.
Probably, bro. It's probably back at Mom's house. Maybe I'll find it in a couple weeks here.
Fuck yes.
Maybe it is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Give me that,
and
John.
I feel like the only thing they also like let me get. I mean, I got a poster and they like let me buy the game first or something like that.
Dude, that shirt is like, in the most unironic way, like possibly like worth money. You know what I mean? Like
thrift action, bro.
No, like people eat that shit up. I saw someone at the gym the other day with a brand new vintage Modern Warfare 2 shirt.
Okay.
They're the market.
Okay.
They're the market.
All right, fair enough. You're right. I won the GameStop. I forgot about the GameStop free for all.
Come on, man.
I won the GameStop.
Remember your roots. Jesus.
Shit, I'm trying to go through them right now. Then what are we at? Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
So then we go to UMG NJ. We finished second, dude. I did beat. This is the first time you're talking about fucking Scump. The first time Scump beat my ass, one of probably 20 times, to be honest with you. Disgusting. And it was but yeah, I was playing with Louis Vuitton, Silent, and Suarez. And
I remember Suarez.
None of them ever played ever again, by the way. Like they played video games, they never ever competed ever again.
After that tournament.
Yeah. I don't know why.
You finished second.
Couldn't tell you why, dude. Couldn't tell you why.
Do you know any of them IRL?
No. Like I met them at the tournament in person at like
that's
15 years old.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. And then and that was like Modern Warfare 3. So then I was like, oh shit, I'm pretty good at this thing.
I'm pretty good at the whole
at
Call of Duty thing.
We're doing this thing right now. And then what was after Modern Warfare 3? Ghosts? Nah, it doesn't make sense. Black Ops 2.
Which
Black Ops 2 is really the one, dude.
Favorite and the most that's the most fun Call of Duty multiplayer experience I've ever had. That game was fucking electric, and it came out at like the perfect age for me. I think I was like 13.
Yeah,
I think it came out in 2012.
Yeah, I was 16, yeah.
Like that was like my prime, like, oh, I'm playing fucking COD when I get home. Fuck school. Dude, I was of course we were outside and shit, but we would be outside for like all day, and then the streetlights would come in, be all sweaty, gross, like a child as you should be, shower, eat, and I'm playing COD till fucking 4 a.m., baby.
Yeah, and this is kind of where it started, where I wasn't doing any of that, and I was just playing COD and not talking to anybody, dude. I remember my friends used to try to like, dude, they would like knock on our window and try to like pull me out, and I was like, I'm in a tournament right now, can't get out. Can't get out.
I'll admit this now. I don't care. Dude, I used to lie to my girlfriend at the time and tell her I was sick so I could play game battles.
Nice.
Shout out Shelby, whatever.
You were playing GBs, dude. Who's the kid, bro? What's his name?
Richard Plata.
Yeah, that kid.
DG Platypus. Detriment Gaming.
That's
DG, bro.
Okay.
That was a time. We
What's he up to nowadays?
I actually don't know.
No idea.
I think he was in the military. I think I saw him online the other day. Hey, if you're out there and you're listening, hit me up. You have my number. But great guy. I did talk to DG Iqbalbek the other day. We were talking a little bit.
Forgot about him.
He's the man.
Okay.
That dude always doing something crazy.
Word. Like, is he like Peter? A little Peter Lee action? Is that what's going on?
No, I just mean like traveling the fucking world, like money. Like he's doing the damn thing.
Like that, yeah.
But anyway, so you
Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2, that's really when shit really kicked off for you.
Yeah, so Black Ops 2, basically, shout out Troy Sender Michaels, which, Troy, if you ever do watch this, love you, dude. Nothing but love, man. It's, the amount of times you've helped me is amazing. But we go into the end of Modern Warfare 3. This is like we kind of had like a team. So it was me, Sender, Twisted, Simps. We're called Clockwork.
I remember.
Now, there wasn't anything in person, but at the end of Modern Warfare 3, this was kind of like cool.
Yeah.
We're going to do this thing. And then the first tournament I ever traveled for, like, not driving, the first time I was ever on a flight in my entire life was to go to Chicago.
Didn't Dad go with you?
Dad went with me, yes. The first time I was ever on a flight was to go to Chicago for the first tournament of Black Ops 2.
Was that MLG or UMG?
UMG Chicago. It's the infamous... if you are a gamer, you're out there. It's Aches pushes Nate shot, and it was a pretty big deal. They were on the main stage, and he pushed him off the main stage. Gamers fighting, dude. It was fucking intense.
Dude, y'all. I remember watching. I remember watching you, but you like stood up and started screaming at someone.
We were on. I can tell you if that gameplay footage exists, it should exist because the only game that we were on like main stage for, it was us against Farico Impact, which was like the team who won champs. It was like Parasite, Killa, Miracles, and Karma.
Karma was on that team,
and we really should have won. So the craziest thing is that was
it that tournament?
That was not champs, no. But
no. Was that UMG Chicago?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
That was the infamous.
A lot of testosterone.
The infamous Twisted Lightning Strike.
Twisted Lightning.
So we're winning a hard point against the best team in the world.
Love hard point.
And it goes down to the last hill. Dude, we were such dumb kids, bro. Just arguing about this. But basically, Twist was a freak, and he had a lightning strike. And the way that the lightning strike worked in the game, super specific nerdy shit, it kind of like when you pull it out, it would ping where people were.
Yeah.
And then if you dropped it on them, it kind of had like, I guess there was like a slight homing element to it.
Okay.
To where it would like go to like it wouldn't exactly go where you put it if you put it on people.
Right.
It would try to like
I
follow
remember.
them.
Well,
basically what happened was.
He's
like, yo, I was like, yeah, drop that shit. So we're pushing up to the point, and because they had like run off the point, it killed like all of us and didn't kill any of them. In like the last and we actually like in the last like couple minutes, and the crazy then we won the search. So it was a best of 3, and it would have been 2-0 just done.
Oh,
we won the search and like lost the CTF like 2-1 or some shit. Whatever it was. But that was that.
Oh, that's rough.
It was rough, yeah. So that was like the first. That was like the first. But it was. We had also played an online tournament. There was these things called Fry Cups.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which was a pretty big deal, and we placed top 8 in that, which was like kind of a big deal at the time for us to like just be coming up. And then I got pissed at Troy because
classic.
I'm pretty sure he was gonna leave the team. He was trying to schedule. He was trying to get someone else to join our team or some bullshit. And I was like,
so he could leave?
Nah, he wanted to drop somebody. And I was like, I basically said, apparently it didn't happen, but I'm pretty sure it happened. And I was like, all right, well, if you guys don't drop Troy, then I'm leaving. So they didn't drop Troy, so I left and then joined Methods, so on and so forth. That's the only reason I was on that team.
Damn, but that was a big deal for you though. SOAR was a big org.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I mean, I played a champ, so you can't even blame it.
I mean,
but
yeah.
Yeah, it was
and you should have placed top 8.
It's a pretty big deal. Yeah, that's
Can we get into that?
That's different. There's two different tournaments should have placed top 8 at. I lost to some fucking Italians.
Yeah, that was a what's his face Sinful.
No, dude, that's different. That's different champs. I placed 9th at Black Ops 2 champs.
That's insane.
And 9th at Advanced Warfare champs.
Oh my god, dude!
And the
Fucking
Black Ops 2
brutal.
champs. The Black Ops 2 champs.
What happened?
Honestly, kind of don't remember. I remember losing to Italians. I
remember you saying that specifically.
I remember them singing at us in Italian. I remember Cargo Search and Destroy.
Well, really quickly, just I'll explain to the viewers, but at this time, Call of Duty, EU teams were like garbage. Like it was like bro, you lost to who? Like it was that kind of like vibe. For some reason, like just how fucking Europeans murder Americans in soccer. We fucking murdered them in Call of Duty. I guess if you could think of the irony of Americans being better with guns virtually than Europeans, take that as you will. But at that time, Ryan losing to a team of Italians was like, damn, this kid sucks. You know what I mean? Which is a shame.
That was a rough one. If you go back to the stat, like that tournament was tough because the so we played with it was like Methods, Fluffcat, and Embos. And then it was us 4 at Dallas. And then there was a Scump rule got put into place. I was turning 17 like 2 days before the tournament. Scump wasn't 18 yet. So they made a Scump rule and if you placed at Dallas, the qualifying tournament, if you made it through there, you could be 17. And it was literally just a Scump complaint. I'm not even kidding.
I remember this.
And it was me, him, and John were the ones that were able to play via that rule. So we had to get a substitute for Methods because I think Methods was like actually 16 at the time. I think he's I don't remember. So we got to play with Saints, who that dude was a freak and really good. But yeah, I don't even know what happened, dude. I'm being so serious. I know at one point when we played like Complexity, and I know at one point there was this meta to like use a riot shield shotgun situation, and I was using that and I got absolutely shit on doing it. Like absolutely shit. Cool. So we're back, man. Yo, hopefully, and I'll just say it. I'm still working through this stuff. I think it's the last one.
This should be the last time that you ever see that beep. Aaron, turn down your fucking headphones. You know what? On top of that, if you actually decide to watch the video form, I'll even give an Aaron warning specifically. I will shout out, Mono Burst, your old ass fucking ears, turn it down.
Turn it down. So talking about Black Ops 2 champs and my failures, but like, you know, one of the coolest things, man, and I should start talking about this, regardless about the actual details of these games, is, you know, I was doing the baseball thing. Now I'm turning 17 years old, about to go to $1 million tournament.
Yeah.
And this is where I started to not care about school or anything at all. I didn't really care about anybody. I was doing this thing.
Why would you? You know what I mean?
You know, because a lot of people were you know, that's why would I? It's a great question now looking back, but at the time it was like this is some, you know,
very uncharted territories.
Brand new. Going to $1 million tournament was mind blowing. I was way out of like, not out of my league, but like out of element, and I was going to like hotels and shit when like I'd never even been to one before.
I know what you mean. What do you think was the most like did you ever get like starstruck? Like was there ever like a moment, maybe not starstruck, maybe like an imposter syndrome, like was there ever like a moment where you're like, fuck, I'm not supposed to be in this room, or like, fuck, I'm not supposed to be talking to you? Like was there ever like a moment? Was it like team manager? Like was it like what do you think that moment was where it really hit you like, wow, I'm doing shit?
I would say great question. Not starstruck from people,
right?
But start out of my element from the fact that like, dude, I was going to these $1 million tournaments,
right?
And I had like $100 to spend while I was there.
Yeah, dude.
That kind of thing. So there's times where I would go or like people would be going out to eat and doing this stuff, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, fuck, like all right, this was like that kind of stuff was where I felt out of my element, because I literally was so young as hell, and I was getting like $100 to go to a tournament, and just the rest was. You know, thankfully, I had a lot of my stuff paid for. I got a lot of free food. I got a lot of like free drinks and things like that. You know, free energy drinks and G Fuel and shit like that. But I think that was it. I not imposter syndrome from a skill level or from like I don't belong here, but imposter from like I'm like this young kid wearing Nike sweatpants getting checked into these hotels that I have no place being in.
Dude, that's a great point, man.
Yeah.
I can't even like imagine in that spot like how you were feeling, and then being surrounded by dudes like, and these were like big productions. You know what I mean? These like events. You know what I mean? There was like a ton of people there, a ton of sponsorships, cameras, lights, action. Like there's a lot of eyes on it.
Yeah, I think I wasn't old enough, or I wasn't aware enough to be starstruck. Because
that's really quick, not to cut you off, but like that's like that's like a lot of times where like in sports, for example, sometimes the best teams who perform are like the guys who don't know, like they've never been there, like a rookie quarterback being in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's not like a guy who's been to the Super Bowl and then they lost and then now they're back and they know what that feeling of loss. It's sometimes it's better when you don't know, when you're walking into it, so you don't let anxiety, you don't let fear, you don't let any of that shit like kind of take over your brain, and you're just kind of like, oh, I'm just here to play video games.
Dude, you walk in this giant convention center that has all these crazy lights and stuff, and like I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm scared to play in the lights. It was like, whoa. Like that's what it was. It was like, wow, this place is really cool. And it wasn't intimidating from that lens. The only thing that's intimidating and annoying as a kid is when you're playing Optic on main stage and you have all these sweaty ass old dudes in the crowd yelling at me, telling me that, I'm shit and that Optic is the best. which is a real thing and which was crazy. Black Ops 2 champs, losing some Italians. They started screaming their national anthem or some shit. I don't even know what was happening, dude. I felt dumb. It was crazy. And then this is also a time too where like, that young, like for real, like chasing girls around. My friends were not playing video games. I was always finding myself going back and forth with like, do I play? Do I not play? Do I play? Do I not play? Like what is it? Is this worth it? And then Ghosts come out. Ugh, can't speak. My mouth is dry, so COD Ghosts come out. They announced that there's gonna be a COD champs, and I'm a senior in high school at this time, and I'm like, I got you right here, but thank you.
Oh, okay,
I'm a senior in high school. We're going into my senior year,
right?
And I'm like, oh fuck yeah, this is about to be dope as hell, like COD champs, and they announced that the champs date was like in March, late March.
Oh,
and that you had to be 18.
Oh no!
So I was gonna miss it by like 2 weeks. So I was in my head. I was like, man, fuck all this shit, bro. I'm not playing, dude. I was pissed off, dude. I was like, fuck this.
You're like, dude, they fucking made the rule for Scump last year because he was 17. Now Scump's 18. Oh, you gotta be 18 again.
Yeah,
fuck you.
So I was pissed off about that, and still playing and stuff, but like, just annoyed. And like now, again, we're starting a girlfriend, playing video games, competing in these tournaments. There's multiple factors to this, and like you could say if I told my younger self at that time, be like, stop fucking talking to women and lock in. Basically, would be the message. But like it just is what it is, man. It's part of life, no regrets, dude. And that's how it rolled, man. And so Ghost was kind of disappointing from that. I did go to UGC though. That was the first time I went to Canada, so I got to go to a tournament in Canada. I got my passport for it. And with Nihil, Baker, and TCM. XGN Sail Guns, bro.
I remember.
Sail Guns, dude, yes.
I remember him.
And that was, that was one of those tournaments I took a girlfriend to. More about this, youngins, about stop chasing women around. The worst tournament I ever played at was the tournament my girlfriend was at.
There can't be a correlation.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Who would you say were some of the biggest names from that tournament?
Like team wise and stuff?
Yeah, or even like player wise.
I mean,
or was that kind of a small?
Dude, you gotta understand. Like at this point, like I was also like young, cocky, and good. I did not care. Like I was at the time, like after like Black Ops 2 and like doing that stuff, like I wasn't really concerned about playing anybody. Like was I?
No, I get that. I didn't mean that like you were going in like scared of anyone. Yeah. I was just like for the viewers, like if they.
If there's all your optics, your phases, your complexity at the time.
Was this real quick? Was this before phase?
2 phase teams.
I was about to say, was this phase red, phase black,
phase black
era?
Curse orange, curse black, TK. Optic. Optic had 2 teams. You had Optic and Optic Nation.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Who else?
Didn't Nate Shot get like demoted during this time? Like, wasn't he on Optic Nation, or was he still on the Optic team?
Nah, they're in Ghost. No, he was on Optic. They won X Games. They like they have a gold medal.
Oh my God,
like
yeah, they
X
did.
Games
No,
medal,
yeah,
cool.
I forgot about that.
That's from Ghost. That's when I wasn't playing too. No, I don't think he really got maybe Advanced. No, maybe after that.
I just remember that there was a point in time where Nate Shot was more like Nate shit. Wasn't good at the game anymore, and he had to move on.
Yeah,
like it's not like Optic Hex. You know what I mean? Hex couldn't always be on the team. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
he was just like the owner anyway.
Well, yeah, but he started.
Bro, Nate's actually funny. So, have you ever watched Twitch streams?
Oh yeah,
that motherfucker is unhinged. Unhinged.
I can't tell you that are you like a big I know you were in streaming and like everything. Like, do you watch like streamers like kind of like not like
sometimes?
I've never got into like a certain I can't go out tonight. A certain stream, you know what I mean? Like I've never like.
No, I'm not watching IRL streamers. I'm not like going home to watch Kai Cenat, like
No. No disrespect. I mean, he's doing his fucking thing.
Everyone like people are into like all the IRL streams and shit.
Right.
I don't care.
But like, does he like stream consistently?
Who?
Nate Shot.
Yeah.
Like daily?
I think pretty much daily.
Wow. To this.
Bro, this dude's rich as fuck. And still is a gamer.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, why not?
He owns 100 Thieves, which is like a massive organization.
Yeah,
he doesn't give I don't know him like that, but I would assume he's just having fun doing whatever and just streams on Twitch.
Good for him.
But I don't watch like a lot of streams, but like I will definitely like if a tournament's up, I will pull it up while like I'm doing whatever and just like watch it.
Have it in the background.
Yeah. But or like I watch a lot. Sometimes I watch like if I was playing like different games like Overwatch and like Rivals and like Valorant, I'll watch like streamers from that just to see how they play.
Such a student of the game.
Suits, you gotta see how different people play, man.
That's a good
point. I would even, even the good thing about watching other people do anything is, even if you're like better than that person, like if I were to, great example. If I watch you play COD, you notice something that you do that like I would. My point is, any skill. If you watch someone else do it, you might learn something just because they do it differently than you. Even if you're better, they might do something super different. You're like, oh shit, that I never even thought to think about it that way. Bro, you always pull out your pistol.
I do.
Like, and I never do that.
Dude, and and you want to know fucking why?
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, switching to your pistol is faster than reloading.
Yeah.
Like that from, I think it was like MW2 campaign.
Yeah.
Like that is fucking ingrained in my brain.
It's hilarious, dude.
Because it doesn't matter if you got sleight of hand pro.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you're carrying snow. It don't matter if you don't know which way to go.
Right.
Switching to your pistol in 5.
And you know what's mad funny about that too is I fucking suck with pistols. Ask Jake, bro. We're playing Warzone now, bro, and it's like
Warzone's difficult, man.
It is but you have to use it when you're in like the gulag and stuff like
right.
that, bro. And I have no trigger finger, like at all. I cannot smack that pistol at all.
Dude, I have such memories of like when I was really getting into like quick scoping MW2, and I mentioned this in either the last episode or episode before. I think it was a school episode, but like you and I, we lived in the same bedroom for 17 years.
Yeah.
And I would be up till like 1, 2 a.m. in quick scope tournaments, and you would be like, bro, I can't fucking sleep. You're fucking clicking the trigger. Because I would like do the thing where I'd smack the left trigger and then I'd smack the right trigger. And you're like, dude, you can quick scope without. I'm like, no, I can't. I fucking can't. I must. I was like, I must snap.
Like a flick of it, dude. Right? You're like flicking it. Yes. Yeah.
So I have dude, I was a fucking trick shotter. I was a quick scoper. Check out my montage. No, I'm just kidding. But but I definitely I was an FAL goon for sure. So I always had a trigger finger, 100%.
That's right. Yeah, I just never did, dude. And I never pulled out my pistol. I didn't give a fuck. I would lay down and reload.
Switching to your pistol is faster than reloading.
Yeah, man. That's hilarious. So then Advanced Warfare comes out. 2015. Me and Troy did some recruiting going into that. I told him I was going to play again going into this because I'm going to be 18. You know, I'm like, hey, this is the first year out of high school, 2014 summer into 2015.
Yeah.
And
in your brain, you're like, I got nothing but fucking COD time.
We go to a Black Ops 2 throwback tournament in Jersey again. It was like a UMG. It was like NJ Halo, UMG NJ or something like that.
That's sick.
And we recruited Happy. So Nick Happy, bro.
Oh, I remember him.
We were at a local, and I forget. I think we did win it. Honestly, I don't even know.
Badass.
Troy might know.
What was your team name?
We didn't have a team name. It's just like me.
Nice.
I think it was me, Troy Twisted, and I honestly don't even know who our fourth was. But anyway, we went to this tournament, and I was watching this kid play, and this team, he had like this like New Jersey friends, and I was like, this motherfucker is good. So I literally like, literally was like, hey yo. I was like, yo, Nick, come here. I was like, bro, we're gonna like Advanced Warfare is gonna come out. We're gonna do this fucking thing. Like, you should come play with us.
Damn.
And this dude did, and then he said he would let me know first. So then,
hell yeah.
And then Advanced Warfare comes out. Me, Troy, Lamar, Accuracy, and Nick Happy. We qualify for fucking.
That's a great team.
Qualify for the Pro League first season.
That's huge.
It was dope. And then all in shambles because Lamar and Troy hate each other. And
what started that? Was there always animosity, or like was it something specific? Would they just get like? Was it like did one of them fucking not rotate 2 seconds fast enough? Like was it like always an in-game argument, or was it outside of the game?
I really think maybe there was some stuff. I really think it was just children being children because, bro, we started off 6-0 in the Pro League on an online league.
Damn.
And then we were 6-0 and Troy left the team because these two.
What the fuck?
We were just children, bro. We were children. He joined this other team, Rise, at the time.
I remember Rise.
He joined Rise, and then that's where.
So who became your fourth?
Fucking TJ Halley, and this is where I get kicked out of this team. This is where I fight Rybad. This is where.
God,
this starts.
I wish that footage existed.
This is
man.
where this stuff starts. This starts translating.
That's some Samsung Galaxy S2 type recording, right there.
Kyle and Kron were there while I fought this kid.
You beat the shit out of him.
Back at Planet Fitness parking lot. And
if
then,
you know, you know.
Dude, and then I actually felt bad. It was such a shitty fight, but I
remember the video. You like fall.
Dude, we're like fighting on
gravel.
And then I do like hit him one time, and he smacks the pavement, and it was like one of those like I was like
a eureka moment. Like, oh my god, did he just die?
Yeah, dude, it was one of those like, oh shit, like that's not good. And
I know that this might be contrary to popular belief. I've actually never been in a physical altercation, as you have predicted that I should probably have been in 1,000 by now.
You're probably just gonna get your ass beat at some point.
Yeah, you've been saying that to me for 26 years. Hasn't happened yet, baby. Anyway, and now I'm big and strong.
Now you're big and strong. That's probably not gonna happen.
Anyway, but I have heard, never being in a fight, but I always have heard like, when you are really in a fight and you are like not quote unquote like about that life, like you're not like a fighter, you're not like you're just a guy, and you just get like, it's like a really like, even if you win, it's like a very defeating feel. It's like a very like, I feel like I should be satisfied right now and I'm not.
Yeah, no, it was weird. I was like, oh shit, I just watched like. It's kind of scary, a little bit scary. Like I was like,
you probably started thinking about things. You're like probably thinking about like, fuck, am I gonna get arrested?
Yeah. That could be me. Also, I could be the one smacking my head against the ground.
That's true.
And then he joined the Marines after that. So he joined the Marines after that fight.
Hoorah!
He stopped playing COD.
Maybe you knocked some sense into him.
Maybe. I kind of touched on this next part, like a little bit in one of the earlier episodes. Actually, I think it was the first episode, talking about how Advanced Warfare comes around. I'm spreading myself too thin. I'm going part-time college, full-time work, full-time gaming, living at the house in Salem.
Yeah.
And being like, I had to go to school if I was just gonna live there.
Girlfriend?
Yeah, his girlfriend's Kate at the time.
Damn.
Yeah.
I thought we were past Kate.
Well, after the first tournament, I broke up with her after Columbus. Columbus was over Thanksgiving. We qualified for the Pro League. She's blowing up my phone while we're there. Lamar's like, yo, turn your fucking phone off. I'm like, you're right. And then she's like, hey, why don't you respond to me? And I was like,
I'm busy.
I mean, I'm out here doing this thing. And then so I broke up with her because I was a pro COD player. So we're in the Pro League. Part. Troy leaves the team. I get kicked off the team eventually. I got fucking finessed out of my own team that I fucking qualified the team for, which is just disgusting.
Grody.
Still playing a little bit. Play with some other team. Like it was just like a bunch of bullshit. But then Champs comes around. Champs a little bit later, and people had to be 18. So now like some of these kids who like, for example, that dude TJ, I think he was not 18 at the time. I got kicked off a team for him, and now like people need a team. So like me and Lamar played with Sin and Twiz, and that is how that happened, because there's like you had to pick from a certain pool of players. You needed players with like a decent amount of pro points, which we had from being in the thing.
I might be speaking out of line here.
Shoot.
All my fucking homies hate Sin.
Yeah, dude. It's
fuck sinful.
Fucking unfortunate, man. Really unfortunate, dude. I used to just crazy shit, man. I did talk about in the first one, though, about I get a 1v2. We're in Champs.
Yes.
For top 8. I win the 1v2. I stand up and say, you fucking suck.
By the way, top 8 at this time. Now, again, they're fucking giving out fucking money, like fucking candy. They're giving this shit out free, willy-nilly.
Like 100 grand plus at least 100 grand a year.
So, like, you guys, like, don't understand that competitive COD, competitive video games at this time, this is not, like, it's not fucking like the Fortnite Pro Cup during COVID. You know what I mean? It's not like Ninja playing with fucking Travis Scott and Drake and fucking Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
Like, this is before, like, this is when playing professional video games was like a literal niche within a niche. And to make money, I know I'm speaking for him, but to make money at the big, it's, you know, like the fucking Super Bowl, like March Madness tournament of Call of Duty, you needed to finish at least in the Elite 8 to walk away with some dough.
Yeah.
Ryan is in this fucking position to where this can happen.
Yeah, man. So, you know, we go up 2-0. Go up 2-0 in the best of 5. I kind of told the story. Go up 2-0 in the best of 5. And then we had 2, like, just super close Biolab, CTF and a Biolab uplink maps.
Classic.
There was some definitely opportunity to kind of to close it out and
end it early,
capture the flag for sure. But like it all comes down to the last map, Search and Destroy, Riot. You know, you gotta trust your teammates, man. You have to. It doesn't matter what the situation. You have to trust your teammates. And me and Sim were in like a 2v4. There's a couple things that happened in this game, which is crazy. For one, I 1v2. Stand up, tell them, like, you fucking suck, da-da-da-da. There's a lot of hate in my heart.
What was the round count when you 1v2'd?
I want to say 3-1 them, maybe. Like, it
damn,
was
so
like
y'all were down.
Round.
So y'all were down 3-0, and you 1v2'd them.
No. Like, it was 3-1 in this round, so it was 3-2 afterwards. I think it was gonna be like it would be 3-2 or 4-1.
Got it.
Which is like a big.
It's a massive momentum switch.
And then we win the next round in like a fucking second and a half, like in like 30. Like it was like a quick ass round. We won.
Holy
like 10
shit! So
seconds.
now
Like
we are
3-3.
Now we're down.
One of these rounds, we're in a 2v4. Me and Sin are in a 2v4. They plant the bomb.
Hate to be them.
I kill 3 while the bomb is planted, and he says, "Get on the bomb to defuse it." I get on the bomb to defuse it. I'm defusing. It was Looney, I'm pretty sure. He was like dancing around this pole like a fucking stripper. He like jumps out, kills me. Sin doesn't kill him. Takes hella long to like realize what's happening. Finally just like dives at him, kills him, jumps back to the bomb, and picks up a gun instead of defusing the bomb.
This motherfucker is too, bro. You are too LeBron when you gotta be fucking Kobe. Tell everyone, get the fuck out of the way and give me the ball.
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh my god, that's so fucking brutal.
So super brutal, man. And like, dude, there was nothing you could do, bro. I remember we lost that dog on like the Black Ops 2 one was like that sucked or whatever. We lost Italians, but like this was the one where we were actually good, and I just stared at my monitor for maybe 10 minutes afterwards. I didn't know what to do. Ricky Bobby, I don't know what to do with my hands. I did not know what to do with my life. I just sat there and stared at this monitor for 10 minutes afterwards.
You work so hard, genuinely, and I know you guys work so hard. It it's coordination. It's everything. You work tirelessly. You work for months and months on end. You get to the fucking point where everything should be good, and then it just all comes crashing down in an instant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all comes crashing down in an instant.
Shows you that anything can be taken away from you.
That was April of 2015, I think. Dude, and like that was kind of like one of the. I just felt like everything that I had done, that was the culmination, and that was the peak. And I still played afterwards. I still had some good times and shit, but like that was the if we don't choke that, who knows what ends up going forward.
I believe I've asked you this question in the past, but I'm just gonna ask you this now, just because I forget the answer. To be honest,
yeah.
Who would you have? Do you have any idea, or do you remember who you would have played in the next round? Like, who did that team play?
Oh, yeah, we played some Australia. It would have been some Australians. We would have smoked their shit. Like, 100% smoked their shit.
Did the team that you lost to beat them?
No, they fucking lost, which is even sadder, actually. But no bullshit. Their team name was Mind Freak. We would have been top 6 for sure. No doubt in my mind.
Again, I know you're probably not gonna. Do you have any idea who Mind Freak played after that?
Nah, I have no idea.
Okay,
we can look it up, bro. I can look it up.
I'd love to. I would love to see the bracketology. Let's look
it up right now. COD Champs.
It's got to be COD Champs
2015.
2015. I need to see this bracket. And yes, we are doing this live, ladies and gentlemen.
COD Champs 2015.
I need to know what happened. Results. And the result is OMG.
It moved itself.
OMG.
No, that's pool play.
Here we go.
All right, so we are. Yeah, look, 3-2 Orbit. They lost 3-2 to Mind Freak.
You would have played Prophecy.
Prophecy 3-0 them. We actually played Prophecy earlier in the tournament. And they 3-1 to us.
Damn.
Super close games, but yeah, that would have been for top 4.
And then, let me go up. So then, who's TR?
Team Revenge. It's actually Bryce Vicento's team at the time.
Oh, I remember Bryce.
They finished second at Champs. It was like a massive deal.
Yeah, and then this is
Denial 1.
Denial.
Which is like Clayster, JCap, Attach, and Replays, I believe.
Attach was on FaZe, right? FaZe Attach?
Yeah.
That feels
He's still playing, actually.
Cool. This is crazy. This is crazy. I want, dude, it would be so cool if you could like click into. I'm sure if I just click Orbit, it's just gonna show me.
Nah, it's not
it
gonna
would
show
be
shit.
so. Losers bracket. Would this have been?
This is
losers bracket. Do you know what round 2? Do you know what group you were?
Yeah, you can go up. That was an optics pool. Right here.
So group A. I'm sorry, I need to know, and I know we're doing shit, whatever. Group A, it would have been this day. Or you beat FaZe Black?
Yeah, that was the first round of losers. That was actually a 5-5.
That's crazy.
Game 5-5-5. I used a fucking nerdy ass spot to get first blood.
Damn right you did.
On Biolab search.
They have the VODs. Oh, we gotta watch that. You know what? We might really quickly, maybe not like a podcast episode. By the way, I want Lawless Brothers Radio. This is a podcast. This is to learn about each other.
Yeah.
I want this to be a lot of things.
Be more than yeah.
And I would love an episode where you and I sit next to each other.
Some VOD review?
And we review and we react, like a live reaction to Ryan Lawless from a decade ago.
Dude.
I would love to see that gameplay. If you're one of our closer friends or maybe a random or if you're a BK Randy, you know what I mean? Comment and let us know if you want to see that. That would be so much fun.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Probably get like someone to hop in with us too. Who knows,
dude? That'd be fun.
Like a little Discord action. Yeah, so that was sad, dude. That was sad. That was it is what it is. Still played a little bit after that, but that was kind of like the culmination of it, and I think it really just comes down to, dude, like for real, talk about how like gaming, like this whole thing is about how it shaped our lives.
Yeah.
Regardless of the results, bro. Legitimately, like this is not some like this is like a legitimate takeaway. I got to go to some of the coolest places ever. I was never on a plane. I never traveled outside of Pennsylvania besides New Jersey, which is the same thing. It's the same shit. I've never traveled outside of this state ever.
Let alone the country.
Sure.
You didn't even touch that. You went to fucking Paris.
Canada a couple times.
Canada, like.
Funny thing is, when I went to Paris, although it was dope and it was a great time, that was when I fucking sucked. So that was during the tail end of the situation.
What game?
Infinite Warfare.
Was that was
2017. Well, it was a game came out.
Was that the game after AW, or was that
after Black Ops 3?
So AW, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
I don't really remember Infinite Warfare too much. It
Trash.
It was
Infinity Ward's jetpack game.
Brutal.
It had guns that had like bullets that would bounce off walls and shit.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. That
everything was in space.
Okay. It's starting to ring a bell.
Trash.
And not. Yeah, I remember.
But for real, man.
But still, you were on the fucking top of the Eiffel Tower. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. All from video games, man. And I have lifelong friends from it.
It's beautiful.
It's video games literally shaped our lives. I've thought about too, like we were talking about like kids and stuff before, and I'm like, if my kid was getting into it, like what would it be? And I'm like, I don't really know. I mean, I would definitely be supportive, but I wouldn't force it. But it's like an interesting thing because now you have kids who are like, I want to be a streamer, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to blah 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 blah.
That's like they're like, dude. If you asked kids, I literally saw this. It was something that was like kids in 2005, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a football player. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a princess. I want to be the president. Bro, in 2020, the number one answer to kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
It's so unbelievably mind-blowing, the differences in the upbringing and the evolution.
And who knows, man? Maybe as it progresses, so we'll have some Ready Player One shit. Like some true, like this VR stuff's getting good. There's a lot of coming out of that.
VR about to turn into AR.
I think a lot more people do it than like we think.
Yeah.
But I also think that it's like not as good enough as it needs to be, but it's getting close. And that'd be some cool shit.
We're close, man. Actually. I think we really are close. I mean, you see the stuff with like the Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah.
Like the
I think it's a trip.
But it's like people like dopamine maxing, bro. Like you fucking there's like this guy he was like watching like it was like a video like he took last year. He was watching the NBA finals. He was scrolling Instagram, he was scrolling TikTok, he was like doing fucking crypto. Like and then he was also grilling at the same like IRL.
I think I saw that video too,
and it gets to a point where it's like, how much is too much for the brain? You know what I mean? To like your attention span, like how much is too much eventually to like to where how many things are you going to be able to handle all at once?
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I even find myself now where I'm like looking at my phone. I'm like, you realize you're like, not even that I'm looking at good or bad things. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm looking at, and I need to just like put this shit down.
Ryan, the amount of times that like this is gonna sound like psychopath, but like, dude, the amount of times
you're not alone though, bro. Everyone.
No, but hear me out. The amount of times that like I will catch myself in the middle of that, and I'll like aggressively throw my phone across the room. Okay. I'll be like, get this. I'll literally like out loud to myself, I'll be like, get this fucking thing away from me, because it can get bad, dude. You know what I mean? On a weekend, you're like, oh, I get to sleep in, bro. You're in fucking bed, and 2 hours pass, and you're still scrolling. Like, it's like, oh, what the fuck am I doing?
And the craziest thing is, like, if you can use these things as tools to like look shit up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you're in that like doom scrolling mode, and everyone does it, you don't even know what you just looked at. Like, you probably couldn't. You probably looked at like 200, 300 different pieces of content, and you maybe can tell me 2 of them
in the last like 5 minutes alone. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking like I see videos like all the time where a guy will be like, yo, like ask your friend in the last 5 minutes what the last 10 things they saw, and they won't be able to tell you, because you just get, and it's fucking awful, dude. But like you get so desensitized to like boring. It's like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, I think the coolest thing about this as well is you and I have been damn near recording for 2 hours, and the only phone tablet that we checked was to check the fucking 2015 bracket. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also, talking about, we've been talking for 2 hours. That's why I think people kind of crave this kind of talk, and that's what I love listening to podcasts for one, but for two, we've been talking, and I could talk for so much longer. I've been like consciously throttling myself this whole time, like talking through my COD journey and stuff. I'm like, fuck, I need to like shorten this up a little bit because we've been going for so long.
Dude, and I think that's the beauty of it. I mean, but you and I both know we're actually officially out of things to talk about right now.
Right now? Done. Boom.
Oh, no, I'm kidding.
Nah,
but like,
so much,
but
dude.
the fact that, not only is there so much left, for you guys, but there's so much left for us.
Yeah. It's cool documentation, man.
And yeah, it is. And on top of that, man, like the fact that it has, the amount of time that you and I have been talking to each other, I feel like, you kind of, you do weirdly have to be like, oh, save that. Oh, save a little bit. Oh, I could have talked. Bro, I do hate, though. There will be some times where we talk before we record, like, whoa, let's not talk about that yet. Let's talk about it on camera. It's like weird, right?
But it's fun, dude.
But it is fun.
It's a lot of fun, man. It doesn't seem like work, and like
that's the beauty.
It's cool to. I really think we're gonna look back and like even the documentation for ourselves, like how like cool this is, because again, we live some cool lives, man. And like to the point of this episode, man. You know, stuff we were talking about before, like talking about gaming, like how it shaped us, but like also not being scared to lean into these hobbies now. Like I was playing Warzone with my friends the other day, and I was like, dude, this is some of the most fun I've ever had.
Dude, fuck yeah, man.
And it's you're keeping the brain sharp. You're socializing with friends.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's the biggest thing. Like, I think the beauty of gaming today is you can stay connected with your friends. Like, just being, you know what I mean? We're all adults. We all have lives. A lot of my best friends, actually, like, 99.9% of them, they all live across the country. So, like, a great way for us to, like, stay connected is to, like, play video games with each other, is to, like, even if we're not playing something, we'll just hop on Discord and just, the amount of times I've hopped on Discord and we just talk.
Just vibing, dude.
Yeah, dude, like, it's such a way to keep the brain moving, to keep those, social skills. And, there's a weird, there is what I like to call a chalant epidemic going on in the world.
A what?
A chalant epidemic. A nonchalant epidemic, rather. Everyone is trying so hard to, like, not try. Like look cool without, like, bro, I saw this. Oh, my God, this shit pissed me off really, really quick. We got to get out of here, but I saw this video. Bro, think about when you were in high school. You remember, like, Blue Gray, you know what I mean? Like, those events and shit.
Okay.
Bro, so, one of the classics is tug of rope, right?
Yeah.
Or is that what it's called? Tug of war. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, with a rope, yeah. And there's this kid, and they're playing tug of war. It's like, I think like a 6-on-6 or something. And there's this kid at the end who just, like, they're in the middle trying. He just lets go. He's like, and he, like, walks off. He fucking, he's like, I'm so, dude, do you know how fucking corny you are? Way cornier to not try than to try your absolute hardest.
That's a good point.
So, guys, I was saying this before we even started recording. Listen, this is how your life goes, typically. You have a bunch of interests that you love when you're younger. And then for no reason at all, you get made fun of that you have them. And then back in your 20s when you're alone and you're in your apartment and you're an adult and you do whatever you want, you rediscover them. Dude, do whatever the fuck you want. Love what you love. If you knit, dude. If you fucking crochet. If you fucking love pro wrestling. If you love video games, play fucking video games. If you paint those fucking Warhammer, like, it's so much weirder to not care and not try and be cool. Like, you are so much cooler when you are in love with your life. And when you can only be in love with your life when you are actually in tune and in touch with what the fuck you're doing. So, with that being said, I'm Casey Lawless.
And I'm Ryan.
Tune in next time.
Peace.